Good evening, and welcome to the 2022 Alberta Impact Holiday Special. I'm Bryce Lambert, host of Alberta Impact and CEO of Kiwi Productions. I'll also be your host for tonight's show. Before we get into our formal program, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge what we call Alberta is located on the traditional territory of the Cree, Blackfoot, Métis, Nakota Sioux, Iroquois, Dene, and Ojibwe, Saulteaux, and Anishinaabe nations. Lands that are now known as part of Treaty 6, 7, and 8, and homeland of the Métis. Alberta Impact respects the sovereignty lands, histories, languages, knowledge systems, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit nations. Tonight, we are excited to feature a number of amazing performances from a number of local artists and a special surprise for the kids. Since September 2019, Alberta Impact's mission and goal has been to highlight and feature Alberta-based organizations, leaders, and stories that are driving our province and country into a prosperous future. We are looking forward to some informative guests in 2023, along with some new featured segments and series throughout the year. Stay up to date by signing up for our monthly newsletter and following us and liking us on your favorite social media platform. All right, let's get started with this evening's performances. First up, we have David J. the Spaniard, a self-taught, virtuosic instrumental guitarist based in Edmonton. Jay has combined his love for metal, classical, flamenco, and avant-garde folk to create beautiful hybrid pieces for fans to adore. Jay has toured across Western Canada playing at numerous festivals such as the Edmonton Folk Music Festival, Astral Harvest, and the Canadian Rodeos Finals, and more. Playing a holiday original, here is David J. the Spaniard. Thank you so much, David. What an incredible talent. We've had the pleasure to work with the Edmonton International Airport for a number of years now, and I'm excited to have them as a supporter of our program. Please welcome our gold sponsor for tonight's show, YEG EIA CEO, Tom Ruth.
Hello everyone, I'm Tom Ruth from Edmonton International Airport, welcoming you all to this year's festive season. I'm so happy to be part of the Alberta Impact Holiday Special, joining the many wonderful guests and artists to celebrate the season. The holidays are one of the busiest times at the airport, but they are also one of our favorite times of the year. The terminal is filled with festive sights, sounds, and the exciting energy that this time of year brings. And this year, we are especially grateful. As the aviation and tourism industries rebound, we are excited to be welcoming so many people back to the airport, including travelers, employees, community members, and even our four-legged friends. After being paused for the past 2 years, our pet therapy program has returned to calm nerves and spread cheer. You can spot our therapy dogs and their handlers by their cute matching outfits. Animals are stress busters and fun distractors while you wait at the airport. Make sure you say hi and have a visit. Our music program has also returned, ready to deck the halls with live music from local artists. We love celebrating musicians from our region, giving them a chance to entertain passengers and share their music with the world. And nothing beats the infectious cheer spread by our youngest musicians. This December, we are welcoming almost 1,000 students from local choirs to share holiday carols at the airport. Our volunteer ambassadors have returned, happy to be back after being away for over 2 years. Some of our volunteers have been working here at the airport for more than 15 years and are excited to return to doing what they love, making your travel day easier. They're ready to help with directions and any other airport questions you might have. As you may have recently heard, we have made the transition from EIA to YEG. Pronounced like YEG, this has been our airport code since we opened in 1959. YEG has become synonymous with Edmonton, no longer just an airport code, but something that brings people together and creates a shared experience. We can't think of a better time to have made this transition. Our region is working together better than ever to create new opportunities and position ourselves on the world stage as a great place to be. We are proud to be getting back to our roots and furthering our connections with the region and positioning ourselves for international growth. Our vision of more flights to more places isn't just a goal, it is something we live by. We are in the business of connecting people and places, and your safety and security is our #1 priority. We are striving to be an airport for everyone. We want everyone to feel welcome and comfortable as we aim to be a truly inclusive airport. From bringing families together to helping businesses succeed, YEG can't wait to get you safely on your way and welcome you on your return. On behalf of the entire airport team, I wish you a wonderful holiday season and a safe, healthy, and happy new year. I'm pleased to introduce the next musical performance, Amanda Penner. After 2 agonizing years of lockdown during the global pandemic, Amanda started to find her voice again in 2022 and began crafting new songs comparable to poetic journal entries and reflective of her life so far. Like a bear coming out of hibernation, she's taken tentative steps back into the world with more stories to share and a newfound grace, inviting you, with love, to see what comes next. Please welcome Amanda Penner.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree. for Christmas in white, and I'll have a blue, blue Christmas, and I'll have a blue, blue Christmas.
Thank you so much, Amanda. What a beautiful performance, and another huge shout out to the YEG YEG Edmonton International Airport for being the gold sponsor for this evening's program. Before moving on to our next artist, I'd like to take a moment to thank the organizations and companies who chose Kiwi Productions for their event production needs, whether it was live, virtual, or hybrid. We truly appreciate you supporting a local business. Kiwi Productions is an Edmonton-born company, and this year we celebrate 20 years of service. A huge milestone for us, and this has been made possible through the continuous support from our growing number of long-term relationships with clients who trust us with their events' audiovisual and presentation technology needs, no matter the size or style of event. So thank you so much. We're looking forward to growing and working with many more organizations in 2023. Moving on with the program with one of our silver sponsors, introducing another amazing up-and-coming artist, please welcome Edmonton Global CEO, Malcolm Bruce.
As I reflect back into 2022, I'm really happy to be seeing the kind of progress that this region is making on the global stage and how globally competitive we are. Last year was a real pivotal year for us because we reached out and started to bring the world to this region. Things like the Canadian Hydrogen Convention, as well as the Carbon Capture and Utilization Storage Convention, Nano Canada, the AI Week in partnership with Amy, who ran that one, as well as creating a movement through this expose of a new event called Forward Slash, where we tried to mobilize the opportunities for the region to the regional leadership. It was a very successful evening. And then finally, seeing to come full circle with our first final investment decision, Polycar, back in 2019, had their grand opening in December of 2022. Truly a significant and momentous event for us in 2022. In 2023, we look forward to building on the successes: global logistics, hydrogen, life sciences, food and ag, and of course, around artificial intelligence. But all of this is only possible working in partnership with our many, many partners, both the local municipalities, the industrial heartland, the Alberta Industrial Heartland, the International Airport, amongst many other partners. Truly, it takes a partnership to make us successful, and the strength of this region is through these partnerships. To everybody, I wish you a happy holidays from Edmonton Global. Now, it's my great pleasure to welcome our next performer with a unique voice, cannot imagine their life without music, and absolutely loves the magic of Christmas. Performing for us her Christmas original, Avery Simpson, Dancing in the Snow.
It started to snow, we'd watch it fall right to the ground. It truly was the only thing that turned your frown upside down. You grabbed my hand and said, let's go, as we ran out the door. We try to catch the snow on our tongues, but we don't do that anymore. Do you remember go dancing in the snow? We'd go up and down the candy cane lane and watch the lights glow. Do you remember when we'd go dancing in the snow? Many Christmases have gone by, I guess some people carry on. I never thought that you would grow up too, but I guess that I was wrong. Hear the carols on the radio, wish that you were here to sing along. Do you remember when we'd go dancing in the snow? We'd go up and down the candy lights glow. Do you remember when we go dancing in the snow? Oh, 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 dancing in the snow. Oh, yeah. Dancing in the snow.
Thank you so much, Avery, for that incredible performance. We look forward to seeing you perform more throughout 2023. And a big thank you to Edmonton Global for your support. As Malcolm mentioned, 2023 is going to be an impactful year for them, and we're excited to see the results they'll produce for the Edmonton region. Nothing warms my heart more over the holidays than seeing and hearing about the goodwill, generosity, and love that we all give to one another. Sometimes we need to be reminded that this is not just a holiday act, but should be an act we practice year-round. We are honored to have one of this year's silver sponsors to be Edmonton Community Foundation, who has been a staple in Edmonton with its programs and initiatives in giving support to communities where it's needed most. Please welcome CEO Tina Thomas.
Hello and happy holidays from the Edmonton Community Foundation. My name is Tina Thomas and I'm the ECF CEO. There is no doubt that it's been a challenging year for many in our city, but we know the spirit of giving is very much alive in Edmonton. We see it every day. For over 30 years, Edmonton Community Foundation has been helping people across our city make a difference in their community. Each year, we're able to grant nearly $30 million to charities, and we're looking forward to granting even more in 2023. We can do this thanks to the power of endowments. Endowment funds at ECF start with an initial gift from a donor. We invest those donations, and a portion of that investment is used to support the causes that matter most to them. This means funds at ECF will continue to give and grow forever. Of course, we couldn't do it without the incredible generosity of our donors. Your trust in us allows us to create long-term, sustainable impact. There are many ways to give, grow, and transform your community. Thank you for allowing us to be part of it, not just through the holidays, but every day. If the idea of creating a lasting legacy sounds meaningful to you, please visit us at ecfoundation.org to see how ECF can help you. Now I have the great pleasure of introducing Alberta Impact's next musical performance, Prairie Christmas, written and performed by John Hewitt and featuring Dylan Farrell. Happy holidays and a very happy new year to you all. Enjoy the rest of the show.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me, is it cold in your little prairie town, where the people are old and the young kids hang around? Tell me, is it cold in your little prairie town? Will the rivers freeze? Will the snow hit the ground? So Merry Christmas, my baby, I owe it all to you. You know it's all so true. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you. Tell me, is it cold out there on the coast? Are you keeping warm with the one you love the most? Are you keeping warm down beside the fire? Is it getting cold in the woods and in the briar? So Merry Christmas, Christmas, my baby. I owe it all to you. You know it's all so true. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you. Tell me, is it cold in your little prairie town? When the waters freeze and the snow hits the ground. So Merry Christmas, my baby. I owe it all to you. You know it's all so true. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you. Merry Christmas, I hope it's good to you.
Thank you so much, John and Dylan. And a massive thank you to Edmonton Community Foundation for your generous support as the silver sponsor for this evening's program. We appreciate what the team at ECF does to support the many organizations in Edmonton. And now, for the grand finale of this evening's program that was specially created for the kids at heart and our little ones who enjoy a good Christmas story. It is my pleasure to welcome Santa Claus, who will be reading to us Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Ho, 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 ho! Welcome, my friends. Would you like to hear a story?
Yes, please.
Oh, now, do any of you recognize this little fellow?
Yes.
Who's that?
Rudolph.
Indeed it is. You kids know a lot about Christmas. Would you like to hear his story?
Yes.
Wonderful. Are you all quite comfortable?
Yes. Yeah.
Then let's begin. 'Twas the day before Christmas, and all through the hills the reindeer were playing, enjoying their spills, while every so often they'd stop to call names at one little deer not allowed in their games. Ha ha! Look at Rudolph. His nose is a sight. Why, it's red as a beet. Twice as big, twice as bright. While poor Rudolph just cried. Why, what else could he do? He knew that the things they were saying were true. Where most reindeers' noses are brownish and tiny, poor Rudolph's was red, very large and quite shiny. In daylight it sparkled, the picture shows that, and at nighttime it glowed like the eyes of a cat. And although he was lonesome, he always was good, obeying his parents, as good reindeer should. That's why on this day, Rudolph almost felt playful. He hoped that from me, soon driving my sleighful of presents and candy and dollies and toys, for good little animals, good girls and boys, he'd get just as much, and this is what pleased him. as the happier, handsomer reindeer who teased him. So as night and a fog hid the world like a hood, he went to bed hopeful. He knew he'd been good. While way, way up north, on this same foggy night, well, children, I was preparing my sleigh for its flight. This fog, I called out, will be hard to get through. I shook my round head, and my belly shook too. Without any stars or a moon as our compass, this extra dark night was quite likely to swamp us. To keep from collisions, we'd have to fly slow. And to see where we're going, we would have to fly low. We'll steer by the street lamps and house lights tonight, in order to finish before it gets light. Why, just think how the boys and girls' hopes would be shaken if we didn't reach 'em before they awaken. And then I called to my reindeer. I said, "Come Dasher, come Dancer, come Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. Be quick with your suppers and hitch up in a hurry." For they too would find fog a delay and a worry. And I was right, as I usually am. Why, that fog, children, it was thick like strawberry jam. We tangled in treetops again and again, and barely missed hitting a huge speeding plane. Just not getting lost needed all of my skill. With street signs and house numbers, more difficult still. We still made good speed, with much twisting and turning, as long as those street lights and house lamps were burning. At each house, first checking what people might live there, I'd quickly pick out the right presents to give there. But lights will be out after midnight, I said, for even most parents have then gone to bed. Because it might wake them, a match was denied me. Oh, how I wished for just one star to guide me. Through dark streets and dark houses, children, I began to do poorly. I now picked the presents more slowly, less surely. I really was worried, for what would I do if folks started waking before I was through? The night was still dark and not at all clear when I arrived at the home of the deer. Onto the rooftop with the clouds all around it, I searched for the chimney and finally found it. The room I came down in was blacker than ink. I searched for a chair, but ended up sitting in the sink. Why, the first reindeer's bedroom was so very black that I tripped on the rug and burst open my pack. So dark that I had to get very close to the bed and peek quite hard at the sleeping deer's head before I could choose the right kind of toy, a dolly for a girl or a train for a boy. But all this took time, and it filled me with gloom. while feeling my way toward the next reindeer's room. The door I'd just opened, when to my surprise, a soft, glowing red colored light met my eyes. The lamp wasn't burning. The light came instead from something that lay at the head of the bed. And there lay... Now wait. What would you suppose?
Rudolph.
Oh, children, you've guessed it. It was Rudolph's red nose. Why, so this room was easy. This one little light, why, it let me pick quickly the gift that was right. Why, how happy I was until I went out the door. Kids, the rest of the house was as black as before. So black that it made every step a dark mystery. But then came my greatest idea in all history. I went back to Rudolph and started to shake him. Very gently, of course, in order to wake him. Why, Rudolph could hardly believe his own eyes. You can just imagine his joy and surprise at seeing who stood there but a paw's length away. I spoke of the darkness, the fog and delay, and my great worry that children might waken before my complete Christmas trip had been taken. But you, I told Rudolph, may yet save the day. Your bright shining nose, son, can show me the way. I need you, young fellow, to help me tonight, to lead all my dear on the rest of our flight. Why, Rudolph broke out into such a big grin. Why, it almost connected his ears to his chin. He scribbled a note to his folks in a hurry. It read, "I've gone to help Santa Claus. Please do not worry." I told him to meet me and my sleigh out on the lawn. He would have got stuck in the chimney, you know. And with a flash, I was gone. So Rudolph pranced out through the door very gay and took his proud place at the head of the sleigh. Well, the rest of the night, what would you guess? Children, my idea was a brilliant success. And brilliant is almost no word for the way that Rudolph led the deer and the sleigh. In spite of the fog, we flew quickly and low, and made such good use of the wonderful glow that shone out from Rudolph at each intersection, that not even once did we lose our direction. At all of the houses and streets with a sign on 'em, we'd fly real low, so Rudolph could shine on 'em, to tell who lived where and just what to give whom. We'd stop by each window and peek in the room. Oh, I know always which children are good, and minded their parents, and ate as they should. Well, I'd pick out the gift that was right, with Rudolph close by, making just enough light. Why, it all went so fast that before it was day, the very last present was given away. The very last stocking was filled to the top, just as the sun was preparing to pop. The sun woke the reindeer in Rudolph's hometown. They found that short message that he'd written down. Then they gathered outside to await his return. And were they surprised and excited to learn that Rudolph, the ugliest deer of them all, Rudolph the red-nosed, bashful and small, the funny-faced fellow they'd always called names and practically never allowed in their games, was now to be envied by all far and near. For no greater honor can come to a deer than riding with me and guiding my sleigh, the number one job on the number one day. My sleigh and reindeer soon came into view, and Rudolph still led us as downward we flew. Oh my, he was proud as we came to our landing, right where his handsomer playmates were standing. The same deer who used to do nothing but tease him would now have done anything only to please him. They felt even sorrier that they had been bad. When I said, "Rudolph, I never have had a deer quite so brave or so brilliant as you, at fighting black fog and steering me through. By you last night's journey was actually bossed. Without him, I'm certain we'd all have been lost. I hope you'll continue to keep us from grief on future dark trips as Commander-in-Chief." What? Rudolph just blushed from his head to his toes until all of his fur was as red as his nose. The crowd first applauded, then started to screech, "Hooray for our Rudolph!" and "We want a speech!" But Rudolph, still bashful, despite being a hero, was tired. His sleep on the trip totaled 0. So that's why his speech was quite short and not bright. He said, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." And that's why, children, whenever it's foggy and gray, it's Rudolph the red-nosed who guides my sleigh. Be listening this Christmas, but don't make a peep, because that late at night, you kids ought to be asleep. But the very first sound you'll hear on the roof, that is, if there's fog, will be Rudolph's small hoof. And soon after that, if you're still as a mouse, you may hear swish as we fly round the house, and Rudolph shines enough light to give me a view of you and your room. And when we're all through, you may hear me call ere we fly out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, And to all a good night. Children, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you and all of your families the very merriest of Christmases. Ho, 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 ho!
Thank you so much, Santa. That's it for this evening's program. Thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to follow and like us as we bring you more engaging information and entertainment throughout 2023. Everyone, please stay safe, be kind, and we wish you all a happy holidays.